The child poverty rate in the United States has more than doubled. That's right. Under the Biden administration and his policies, child poverty rate has more than doubled. It's terrible that this is happening. All his policies seem to be doing the exact opposite of what they say they were going to do. The so-called Inflation Reduction Act is not reducing inflation. It's actually hurting people. His Build Back Better. Where is he building stuff at? Where is stuff being built at? The economy is in shambles, and it's all happening because of Biden and his policies. Um, but before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my merch store. Also, check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for news as well. All right, let's talk about this news. If you analyze the statistics truthfully, it becomes evident that the U.S. economy is rapidly deteriorating. Delinquency rates are on the rise. Sales of previously owned homes have fallen by over 32% in the past 2 years. Inflation is increasing at an alarming rate. Major companies across America are laying off employees, and we recently witnessed the largest drop in real median household income in more than 10 years. Sadly, it is often the most vulnerable members of our society who suffer the most during economic hardships. According to the Census Bureau, the child poverty rate in the United States more than doubled from 2021 to 2022. That's right, doubled under Biden. In 2022, the U.S. poverty rate, as per the supplement poverty measure (SPM), stood at 12.4%, marking a 4.6% point increase from 2021. Notably, the child poverty rate more than doubled year over year, surging from 5.2% to 12.4%, setting a record increase. There is no way to present that number as anything positive. But I'm sure the leftists and the sycophants for Biden will find some way to make it positive or ignore the numbers or blame Trump somehow. So, why did this occur? The Census Bureau attributes it to inflation and the conclusion of emergency programs implemented during the early stages of the pandemic. While inflation played a role, Census Bureau officials suggest that the spike can be largely attributed to the expiration of pandemic programs. There were no stimulus payments in the previous year, and the enhanced child tax credit expired in 2021. Though those stimulus checks provided temporary relief, they also contribute to the alarming inflation we are currently experiencing. Inflation seemed to briefly subside, but it is now resurging. According to the Labor Department, we recently witnessed the most significant monthly increase in the Consumer Price Index this year. The Labor Department reported that in August, the Consumer Price Index, which measures the cost of everyday goods like gasoline, groceries, and rent, rose by 0.6% to the previous month, aligning with expectations. This marked the most substantial monthly increase this year, highlighting the challenge of curbing high inflation. If prices continue to rise by 0.6% every month, the official inflation rate for the entire year would exceed 7%. Of course, if inflation were still calculated as it was in 1980, we would currently be in double digit territory. Over recent years, inflation has outpaced wage growth, severely impacting the middle class. Many American households are on the brink of financial collapse, leading to a surge in delinquencies. The Kabasi letter recently posted on Twitter said auto loan delinquency rates are now at the highest level since 2008. Since the Fed started raising rates in March 2022, auto loan delinquency rates have nearly doubled. For Q2 2023, the auto loan delinquency rate in the United States jumped 7.3%, up from 6.9% in Q1 2023, and above pre-pandemic levels. Moody's said that auto loan delinquencies will hit 10% in 2024. Credit and delinquencies are also surging, reaching levels not seen in over a decade. We are at a critical economic juncture, and the situation will likely worsen as more Americans lose their jobs. The largest ground fish company on the East Coast has declared bankruptcy, leaving its employees jobless. FedEx is also set to lay off more workers, and Google is cutting hundreds of jobs in its global recruiting organization. If you have a stable job that you value, try to hold on to it for as long as possible because the economic environment ahead will be harsh. Even JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon, who is typically an optimist, is sounding less positive about our economic future. He warned of several risks to the economy, including the Ukraine war, Federal Reserve monetary tightening, and increased reliance on government spending, stating that those who assume the consumer's strength will lead to a booming economy for years are making a huge mistake. I think the Great Depression is coming. But decades of poor decisions have brought us to this point, and of course, Biden's terrible, horrible policies that's going on right now, and we've faced significant challenges. Regrettably, the mistakes made will have severe consequences for our children, as the child poverty rate has already more than doubled, and the U.S. economy continues to deteriorate. And like I keep saying, it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. We know that gas is going up, and gas is on track for this winter is going to be as high, I think, as we've seen in a long, long time. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.